So welcome everyone to Access, and we're going to be quizzing Ben Oliver on some of the most frequently asked questions for IR35. So Ben is the product manager for Access Pay and Bill, software for recruitment agency, payroll, billing and invoicing. So Ben has over 20 years experience. I hope I'm not giving your age away. In product management within the recruitment sector. So you've spent loads of time with customers on sites such as Adecco, Randstad, Ipelum and Capita, and probably a lot more as well. So hi Ben, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good, thanks.
You must be really busy with IR35 at the moment, are you, or like everybody else, or?
We are obviously we like to stay ahead of the curve, and the development team and myself have been working up all those stories, and approval came in actually just a couple of days. So the fingers on keyboards, and we're away. I mean, obviously with our actually wrote it last year and it was ready to go. So all we really just have to do is turn it on again.
Brilliant. That sounds fantastic. All the work's been done. So the first question, so these are the most frequently asked question, is number one is, with the new IR35 off payroll rules due to take place in the private sector in April 2021 now, which provision seems to confuse our clients the most?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really uncertain time for all of us in the recruitment sector at the moment, especially when we're faced with the ever-increasing and ever-changing legislative burden. Keeping track of it all recently has obviously been a real challenge. However, to answer that question, I think defining who is in and who is out, and what that means to the wider aspects of your workers in your market and everything that's going on, has to be the subject of much debate, not only with our customers, but as the sector as a whole.
Right, okay. So that's the first question. The second question, and it just probably follows on, is what is the IR35 question that is asked, that you get asked all the time? Yeah. Customers, yeah. What are they asking you?
Well, I'm going to be honest here. Of late, the biggest question is when it's coming, and yes. Is it really coming? I guess is the biggest question. But in all seriousness, the question that's preoccupying everyone is what's involved when implementing IR35 in the frenetic world of temporary recruitment, because I think it's really easy for people to go to the web and you can see the rules from HMRC, you can see what's going on with other payroll products, but I think when we're talking about temporary recruitment and we all know that come payday, it's got to be 100% right. Payslip printed, all the details RTI'd off to the HMRC, yes. And then we barely get a cup of tea before it all starts again. So the challenge is, how do we track that? How do we process it? But then also, like, how do we cost it? And how do we get that right every single week?
It's a really busy time for recruitment agencies. Not only have we got Brexit coming, not only have we got COVID going on and the lockdowns, and obviously a vaccine coming soon, which is positive news. Fingers crossed there. But we've got IR35 to contend with as well. And I know that just reading some of the stuff from APSCO, a lot of companies are not really ready yet. So that brings me on to the next question. Is there any difference between how the most recent IR35 changes are being applied to the public sector and to the private sector? And if so, what is the difference?
Yeah, so I feel pretty lucky. I've been in a very privileged position on this particular issue. Pay and Bill was well ahead of development on the original OPWIPs. Public sector development. Our customers have actually been using it for quite some time, a few years now, in fact. If anything, the new legislation, the new IR legislation, bringing public and private sector contractors under one banner, has actually made things simpler. We now just carry one simple checkbox for the IR35 legislation within Pay and Bill, which is a lot simpler than the previous iteration, and this drives the calculation to add all the tax legislation that you need to be compliant in one go. Defining a true public sector worker, in a way, was a load of criteria that were quite complicated that you just don't have to do anymore. But this does, of course, mean as we head towards this that there's quite a lot we need to get ready so that you're ready to go on the date.
No, I totally agree. It's just coming so quickly. I mean, look, we're now in November and soon to be December and Christmas. What steps would you advise recruitment agencies to take in the next few months to ensure that they're prepared?
Yeah. Okay. So right now, it's really important that you are assessing your workers. With our software, you can be making that determination early and getting everything set up. But right now, it's a matter of looking at the legislation and saying this worker is in, this worker's out, this contract is in, this contract's out. And you'll need to be looking at your communications. I think that is a key. Both you, your contractors and your customers, agencies with umbrellas, managed agencies, we all need to ensure that everyone understands where the responsibilities lie and what our positions are as we head towards that go live date. And really, that's my top tip for the things we need to be doing today.
And talking about umbrella companies, there's a real confusion recently about their role in managing the new rules. What's the bottom line here, Ben? And what are the roles of the umbrella company? It can be quite difficult to understand, and the recruitment agency and the end user. So how has it all worked out?
Yeah, I mean, actually, this is one of the top questions I do get asked as well. So this is a great question. We've seen a huge increase in managed agencies and umbrellas in recent times, and understanding the ins and outs of the legislation regarding this kind of arrangement can be a challenge. As a recruitment agency placing a worker from one of those agencies, it is the umbrella or the managed agency that is responsible for the appropriate tax deductions. They are technically and legally the employer, so it really does rest with them. It is they who must collect and pay the taxes and report everything to HMRC via RTI, as agencies do at the moment with pay-as-you-earn workers. Start talking to all parties now. Make sure everyone's ready and understands what is needed, and make sure everyone knows and agrees where those responsibilities lie ahead of time. That's the critical kind of message.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good advice, Ben, and I'm gonna get that's probably really helpful for everybody who's watching and listening today. So last question, and then you can have a rest. So what is the most important aspect of the new rules for a recruitment agency to keep in mind? So what would you pinpoint, or what would you say?
Okay, that's quite an interesting question, quite wide, that one. I think we have to focus on the core intent, really. IR35 is a tax at source piece of legislation. It's now our job, effectively, to ensure that your contractors are paying correctly up front. It's also now a responsibility to collect the tax and give it to the Treasury. It's another one of those rather cliched unpaid taxman roles. So not only that, but we have to make sure that we're reporting all that properly to the HMRC. But I think if you think a little bit further, you need to be costing that properly and reporting it to your boards. And we all need to know that our profit margin is where we think it is. So those are the challenges on top of what you might think of the straightforward legislation. Access Pay and Bill obviously handles all of your IR35, public or private, as well as the entire payroll process, your billing, and your accounts pre-processing. And that really ensures that you're ticking those boxes. More importantly, Pay and Bill will do it at scale. When this development comes in, it's not going to be extra burden on you. As I say, it's effectively just a checkbox we need to set up ahead of time, and then we can manage that. In all honesty, Pay and Bill's the only product I'd be wanting to implement IR35 with right now. With our track record for years with the customers and the functionality, I feel we're in a really safe place, and we're ready to go. We will be.
Well, that's great to hear, and that's probably a relief, because it must be a really painful time for recruitment agencies with so much on their minds.
Yeah.
With the current situation at the moment, to have that peace of mind that Access Pay and Bill is there for them. And so if there's anyone out there who would like to find out more about Access Pay and Bill, or would like to even get in touch with Ben, then please call this number and we'll be able to help you. Is 0845 345 3300, and our website address is theaccessgroup.com/recruitment. So thanks everyone for joining and listening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ben.